Today we'll be conducting Investigation 5.3. Open up your purple notebooks to page 95. Please write your name and the date on page 95 in your purple notebooks. Look at this page as I read it out loud. 2 graduated cylinders, 2 pipettes, 3 foam cups, 1 large clear cup, 500 milliliters, 2 thermometers, hot and cold water. The materials needed for this lab include 2 graduated cylinders, 2 pipettes, 3 foam cups, 1 large clear cup, 2 thermometers, and hot and cold water. The procedures read: A. Decide on the mass of the hot water and the mass of the cold water you will use. For this first trial, we'll use 35 grams of hot water and 10 grams of cold water. B. Measure the hot water in 1 foam cup and the cold water in a second foam cup. Here we have the cold water. Again, we're doing 10 grams of the cold water. Use a pipette to get the perfect amount. Okay, so 10 grams of cold water. Now we'll take 35 milliliters of the hot water. First we'll transfer it into a cup. Okay, it's a little over 35, so we'll use the pipette again. Take a little bit of the water out. Okay. Now, make sure that you record 10 grams as well as 35 in your mass on the chart in column 2. Then also we need to get the starting temperature. So let's put the thermometers in the water. If you notice, the line of the red one of the cold one is going down, while the one of the hot water is increasing. Okay, so the cold water has stopped moving. It is 15 degrees Celsius. Record 15 degrees Celsius for the cold water. And for the hot water temperature, it is at 55 degrees Celsius. Okay? Now D says pour the cold water and the hot water into the third foam cup. It's the cold water. And we'll mix in the hot water. E says put the third cup into the 500 milliliter cup. Okay, this is so it's stable and it won't tip over. And F says measure and record the final temperature. So again, we'll put the thermometer into the cup and we'll wait. Okay, the ending temperature is about 45 degrees Celsius. Let's look at the results section of our lab. In the first box where it says hot water, the mass should be recorded as 35 grams. For the cold water, the mass should be labeled as 10 grams. For hot water, starting temperature should be 55 degrees Celsius. And for the cold water, the starting temperature should be 15 degrees Celsius. The final temperature of the hot water should be recorded as 45 degrees Celsius. The final temperature of the cold water should be recorded as 45 degrees Celsius as well. The change in temperature for the hot water and the change in temperature for the cold water will need to be solved for using one of the equations you have previously learned. Also, the calories for hot water as well as the calories for cold water will need to be solved using one of the equations you have previously learned. As a hint, you may use the formula delta T equals final temperature minus the initial temperature to solve for the change in temperature. And another equation you could use is calories equals the mass times the change in temperature. Please use these formulas to solve for the change in temperature for hot water and cold water, as well as the calories in hot and cold water.